Hey everyone, thanks to Grid Automation for making this video possible. So have you ever wondered how many lost steps you have in your shop simply by going from one blast gate to the other, or to leave a blast gate open only to get to the tool you plan on using and you don't have as much suction as you would like? Well, hopefully we're going to help solve that in this video. I'm going to run through putting my dust collection up really quick, and then we're going to talk about the Grid Automation system, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. Oneida does a great job and sends you pretty much everything you need. So basically, I wanted to get everything laid out so I knew what I had. When you order a system like this from Oneida, if you provide them with your shop layout and everything, they have a design that they'll do. I can't remember if it has a fee attached or not, but they will do the design for you based on your shop layout. I did that, and I wound up changing several things, so the directions looked really good. But I wound up not using them exactly. So, but kudos to them. It was a really good layout. I use this snap together kind. It's a little bit cheaper than the more expensive one, and it seemed to work really, really well. It wasn't difficult at all. The funny thing is, I thought I was going to need some help, and I definitely could have used some. I just unfortunately did not have anybody to help me with this, but it really wasn't difficult. They come in 5-foot sections, so I was able to, mine are about 4 foot apart, my rafters there, so I was able to hang one and just kind of slide it through and connect it. I took my solid pipe as close as I possibly could to the tool before I got to the flex. And I can tell you now that everything's running. The suction on this system is absolutely phenomenal. And this is the first big drop going to the table saw and the tools in the center of the room. The last drop is the end, and that's the one going to my jointer planer and drum sander. And again, I took the hard pipe as close to the jointer and stuff as I could. This is the Grid Automation system. Thank you, Grit, for sending this over and helping make this video possible. So we're going to start getting these out and kind of lay them out. I'm definitely going to have to get somebody on the phone because this is above my pay grade. So let's get to doing that. This takes it a few minutes, and now we have the QR code. And I'm just going to set it up to my network so it can operate on Wi-Fi. One of the things a lot of people don't think about is steps. I mean, even if you've got a small shop, how many steps are you wasting by going and closing a blast gate, going and opening another one, getting to your tool, realizing that you've got 3 other blast gates open that you forgot to close and you lose suction. Automating your system gets rid of all that. With the Grit system, it allows you to close the other blast gates when you turn on a tool, or if you have more than one person in the shop and you have the dust collection power to do it, it allows 2 gates to be open at the same time if that's what you need. But the great thing is when I turn on a tool, if there's no other tool on, it closes all the other blast gates that I do not need. Steps you can figure out on your own. But I'm going to use this meter, it's set for feet per minute, to just show you the difference in suction. Now my dust collection is very powerful. But I'm going to show you the difference between leaving blast gates open. With the Grit system, I can open as many blast gates as I want and leave them open while the tool's running. So not super scientific, but it'll give you an example. Okay, I've got it set for feet per minute, and I'm going to turn my dust collector on. I've got 5 gates open just to give you an idea. And again, this one's got a lot of suction. I don't know if you can see these numbers, but so you should have about 3,500 to 4,000 feet per minute at your tool. Even with my powerful dust collector, I'm only getting 2,300 because I have a total of 5 gates open. So I'm going to close gates as we watch this, and you can see the difference. Immediately jumped up to 3,300. 4,100 with another gate closed. 1000 with another gate closed. As you can see, that made a huge difference. Now, can you do that manually? Absolutely. But again, you go back to steps. How many steps did you save by simply turning on the tool and letting the system do the work for you? Air filtration works much the same way. I have a box right there that detects the particulate in the air, and when it does, it gets to a certain point, it kicks on my dust filtration system. And I have 2 of those set up in the shop. So I'm always breathing good air for the most part. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let me show you how to put together these blast gates and get them set up on the system, get them calibrated, and hopefully you can enjoy saving some steps as well. All right, so the one I'm working on now is the 5-inch. So first thing you want to do is take this little locking screw out because you're not going to need it anymore. And then your blast gate should have some screws. So basically we're just going to take all this off. This is the prep part Grit recommends that you do just to ensure the blast gate slides well. So the first part of the prep is just take some, I think I got 180, 150 grit sandpaper. You just want to kind of smooth the edges. Doesn't take me just a minute to do this. Smooth as glass. They also recommend, like I have this grease here. You don't want to do this and then put this right on your system. So if you're retrofitting and doing this, you're obviously not going to be able to do necessarily this step, but if you have your blast gate off, it's highly recommended. But give this time to kind of soak in and dry before you hook the system back up. That way you don't have gunk built up in your blast gate. Now we're not going to need these 2 holes to the front here because that's where our actual actuator is going to go on. And look, I may not say all these parts correctly as far as their names go, but you'll get the idea. All right. Yeah, that slides even now a lot better. I can tell the difference. When you get your system, depending on what size blast gates you've got and what you ordered, you'll get a package. These that I'm working on here are 5-inch. It will come with everything you need here. And then this bottom part is your actual actuator. So what I'm doing, I'll just keep my trash. This is your little guide rod. This goes pretty quick, so I just try to dump everything out so I have it easily accessible. All right, so it's going to come with, this is your drill guide. Each pack comes with a drill guide, and they are made of plastic, so it is not recommended that you use these more than once. Your system does come with the drill bit, screwdriver, pretty much everything you need, minus the drill, to do this. One-time use, this first thing that you want to do is this is going to slide over your lip on your blast gate. You want to try to just eyeball and get it just as close to center as you can. Take the provided drill bit and let's drill a couple of holes. Watch your fingers. And then what I do is this little screwdriver here that comes with it, I actually like to drop down in the hole. Kind of helps me hold this from walking, so I get these holes spaced properly. And what I've been doing is I'm leaving the drill guide on and I'm kind of moving it back and forth. In case you got any little burrs, I found that it actually helps kind of knock them off. And then this goes in the trash. So the actual actuator part with the little splines here that's going to hold the arm, that's going to go and face the downward or the lip downside of this. You've got these little alignment tools. This is to align your rod. So what you're going to do is the actuator is going to be on the opposite side of your guide rod. So since I have mine upside down like this, sort of, it just makes it a little easier. This is going to go in like that. I'm going to go ahead and take this nut here and slide it on. And we're going to line those up in just a second. This is your other one. Same thing. Slide that through. And these are going to move around. You're going to actually get their final adjustment here in a second. So these should look like this, facing each other. And then we just slide the guide rod in, and that way they are lined up straight. And then you can just pull back just a little bit. Now I can access that screw. So now I just want to snug that down. Then I will slide the rod to the other side, and I want to snug that one down. So now that guide rod can move wherever you need it back and forth for the time being. And I'll show you how to set it that makes it easier in just a second to the fully open position. All right, so now we are going to install this little roller thing. This is what the arm actually connects to. Again, I don't know the names. I probably should, but hey, you get the idea. So we're going to put that in place over the holes where I can see the holes there. And then this is going to slide over the guide rod. It should wedge right in these little grooves here. And you've got side to side and up and down play to make sure that this is in there correctly. And then I just kind of get it close and throw some screws, these little screws that come with it. They're just finger tight. You don't even need any tools for it. It's probably a good thing. That way you can't over tighten it. All right. So kind of eyeball this. You want this piece here to be parallel and in the same plane as the body of the blast gate. So actually I get that one pretty well on first shot. Going to tighten these down because that's going to be my up and down movement. Then slide your guide rod up. This is what I was talking about. This is where I'm going to go ahead and set this as far as that length goes. I'm just going to pull mine down. I've got it all the way open. I'm going to pull it down to it's just right there at that little bushing. And then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to turn these little set screws to hold that guide rod in place because that's where it's going to live. With this all the way out, you want to check your side-to-side movement on your gate. This set that I got that came with my Oneida system, they actually don't really have any side-to-side movement, so that's pretty good. So we're just going to go ahead and tighten these two down. All right, and that is it. That's how it's going to open and close. It will have an arm. I have several, so I have packs of arm. Each one of the arms tells you the size. I can't see if that's picking up, but you can see the size, and this is for the 5-inch gate. So this one's done. For now, we still have to calibrate all these, but you have to have power to them to calibrate them. I just want to get all my blast gates ready to go. While past Greg is putting these together, I'm going to make sure I leave a link in the description if you want to check out Grid Automation and hopefully do something for your shop. This is a small business, and I am 100% behind supporting small businesses. Great group of people there, and hopefully you can get something as well.
All right, so we're going to calibrate our gate controls. So I've got it in the correct mode from the hub, so it'll bind. And I'm going to unplug this one. I've already got one wired up, so I'm just going to leave this one. It's wired up to the power block. So plug it in. We are good. It's yellow. And now I don't know if you can see my app, but it just popped up where I've got another gate. I already did my bandsaw gate. This gate, I'm going to name this jointer gate. I just renamed it at the top. I don't know if you can see that. Renamed it at the top. And then now we're going to get this thing close to the center. I already know that I need a smaller washer on the bottom here. So we're going to try to get this thing as close to the center as we can and lock into the hub here. I think it's close right there. Then these packs of screws here, these small ones that came with your gate arms, that's what's going to secure the arm here. So I'll get that secured. Go ahead and get all my other washers put back on here. Get that secured down. So we should be good to go. We're kind of in the center. And then we are going to move to calibrate. Right in the center, it says calibrate. Going to calibrate it. It's going to bring up our calibration screen. I am simply, I hope I'm doing this right. Forgive me, Grant, if I'm not, but I'm going to hit close. It's going to close that far. And then I'm just going to keep hitting the little button that says more close a little bit at a time. Right here, more close until the gate keeps going down until I get it to the point where I want it. I think that's going to be perfect. So then I'm going to click open. It's going to open it back up to we're about halfway. And then I'm going to click the more open button. So now that we are all the way up, I'm going to click close. That's perfect. Click open. That's perfect. Close it back and click done. So this gate is now calibrated. I'm going to now assign it. I've already got my, well, we can't assign this one because my jointer is on a e-stop trigger. I haven't got that set up, but once you get your gate control here, you'll go back in and choose which device that it's going to be controlled. Okay, now that we've got that done, I'm going to take this cable, low voltage cable that comes with your controls, and this is what we're going to use to power all the gate. It goes back to the power bank. Cool thing is you can daisy chain these. So we're going to start here at the furthest one. This is essentially going to be the furthest one away. I'm going to run it up, cut it, and daisy chain it to the other two there, and then we're going to run. Just going to run it with the duct work. So you've got each one of your gate controls has a detachable connector here, and this brown cable has just 2 wire. They send you a cool screwdriver, a little nut driver for your gate control, little nut on there. So we're just going to loosen these up. Now on the next one, I'll have to cut little jumpers, I guess you could say, to go from each one once we get up there. All right, that one's plugged in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use some of my tape here. This will be sufficient. Give it a little loop there. And I'll probably just secure it in a few places up through here just to keep it good. So, all right, let's do this.
So everything should be good. I'll grab you here. Yep, everything is good. Let's go. Let's look up here. All my lights are on and lights on for this one. So we have power to all these blast gates. So I should be able to go into the Grit app to test these. Go into devices. Hope you can see this. Go into gates. So it's showing the drum sander gate, the jointer gate, and the planer gate. So let's just go to the planer gates right here. So let's go to the planer gate and let's open it. I click open. It opens. And the green light comes on, so you know that is the gate that's open. Close. Open. Perfect. Close. Open. Close. Perfect. All right. Well, it looks like those are properly done. Yay. All right. Let's do the rest. All right. We have the whole system set up. So the top blast gate here is where I was using the bandsaw a minute ago. Those two are going to be for the table saw, the overhead and the bottom. So if I turn the table saw on, dust collection comes on and blast gate's open and the other one's closed. Thank you so much for Grit Automation for helping out and making this video possible, and we'll see you later.